What's going on, people? Welcome back to Gooners Therapy. What a day. What a day. I was sitting here and I just said to myself, do you know what? I'm feeling a little bit nervous. I'm feeling a little bit excited. First, guys, let me know if you can hear me, please, bro, because, yeah, man, there's no point me chatting away if you can't hear me. But, yeah, it's feeling nervous, feeling excited. And I thought, let me just do a quick live. To pass some time to the big, massive game. Big ups to How in the building. Second time lucky. Yes, I just set up a live, played the wrong intro. So, yeah. Put the right intro on, Gooners Therapy intro. And, yeah, man. Big up, Dave. Good grief, you guys are in for it tonight. I don't think so. I don't think we are in for it. The question is, what are Man United doing tonight? What are Manchester United doing tonight? Because I think Man United are going to be... What they're going to be doing, guys, they're going to be watching, is it EastEnders or Coronation Street tonight? One of those. Or they're going to be watching the Arsenal playing a European semi-final in the Champions League semi-final for the second time in 2 years. Big up, Godfrey. Yes, positive, Dan. Hope you're doing well. I'm well, man. I am well. And you know what? Yeah, man, look, one year anniversary. It is the 1 year anniversary, and we will be doing a show dedicated to that on Monday. But all you guys have shown us so much love. Big up Dave as well. We started this journey with him. Go and check him out now. David Speaks Football. If you haven't, he's doing some good content over there. When he can, because of course, Man United don't play any games. There was me thinking, Dave, that you packed it all in. And then I looked, I thought he hasn't done a stream for 3 weeks. Then I thought, hold on. Man United ain't played in 3 weeks because they got knocked out by Grimsby in like the first round or whatever it was of the Carabao Cup. Big up 16 of you in here so far. Massive, massive day, man. Massive day. I was actually meant to be going to this game. I'd booked my flight to Barcelona, but I've done Madrid already. I did Madrid last year, and do you know what? I'm going to save some readies for when we get to Budapest, God willing. I'm going to be hate watching the Arsenal. Of course you are. Of course you're going to be hate watching the Arsenal. And listen, I'd be hate watching United too. But listen, what a game yesterday. Let's start off with yesterday. What a game yesterday, guys. Absolutely, beautiful, great game to watch. Couldn't take my eyes off it. I was actually going to drive back to get onto Dan Potts' show. And I was at my boy's house and I thought, you know what? I've got to watch this game. And then maybe I'll head back and jump on a bit later. But yeah, what a game of football. So glad I watched it end to end. Obviously some shocking defending in there. If you want to take some positives out of it, me being positive, Dan, looking at it as an Arsenal fan, it was very scary. But honestly, I mean, there were some outstanding performances. All of the big boys turned up. Travis Shaler turned up. Harry Kane turned up. Dembele turned up, Diaz turned up, they all turned up, and it was a great game of football. But there was some real poor defending, and people keep saying, oh, Arsenal are going to get smashed if we go into a game against one of those teams. I beg to differ. I really beg to differ. Last year, it was close against PSG over both legs. We were missing Gabriel, which is huge for us. He's our best centre-back. He's the leader at the back. And we've already beaten Bayern Munich. Yes, it was in the group phase, but still, they were on super form then. I don't see Bayern Munich. I feel PSG would be a tougher game for us. I think, honestly, we have the blueprint to go and beat a side like that. To stay in the game, to keep it tight, to frustrate them, to maybe go and score a set piece. You know, Chelsea against Bayern Munich were being outplayed, and Drogba turns up in the 90th minute or whatever minute it was late on and gets a goal. Manchester United won the Champions League by scoring from 2 set pieces. Jokes aside from Dave, big up Dave. I think Arsenal have exactly what's needed to win this tournament this time around. That match last night was mental. Listen, facts. At least, you know, Dave's come in with some facts there. I totally agree. Man. Arsenal 100%. People keep forgetting that they're judging us on our last 7 games, which haven't been good. By the way, Atletico Madrid have lost 4 of the last 5. We're in a bit of poor form now, but let's not forget we beat Real Madrid 3-0 at the Emirates last season. We went over to Madrid and beat them 2-1. We've had some big wins in the Champions League. We beat Inter Milan away 3-1. We've only conceded what? I think we conceded to Inter Milan 1 goal, Leverkusen, Bayern Munich. I think that's it in the whole tournament. So we've definitely played our best football in the Champions League. Against Sporting, it wasn't great, it wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. And Sporting are a decent side. They actually beat PSG earlier on in the tournament as well. Let's read some of these comments. Big up for Bants, always coming in and showing love. I'm definitely going to embrace our matches in the UCL. I haven't been emotionally invested with the Prem all season. Well, look, yeah, listen, they're 2 separate competitions, but I can't understand why you would not be invested in the Prem, you know? We're 4 games away from winning the Premier League. I think you have to be invested in every game. But listen, each to their own. Big up Aussie Ange. Afternoon, Dan. Did you see that Cecil was predicting a massive 5-0 win against Atletico? Wow. Is he really? I'm going to have to drop him a message in a minute. Wow, 5-0. And see, me positive, Dan, I said 2-2. You know, I think it will be a good game. I think everyone's expecting this Harambe 0-0, 1-0, sort of 1-1. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I think Atletico, who've played a bit more attacking this season, will feel like we need to take a lead to the Emirates, and then they will park the bus at the Emirates. So I don't see it, you know, being as much of a dull game. Listen, it could be a low scoring game, and that would suit Arsenal. You know, a draw would be a good result for Arsenal. And yeah, look, you're right here. Atletico Madrid, they have been redemption, big up redemption. They have been resting players. Of course they have. They've been focusing solely on the Champions League, but still, form, you know, you can't just switch a flick. You can't just switch a flick and, you know, flick of a switch a flick, you know. You can't just do that. You know, you need momentum in games. And listen, they're going to be well up for it today. I just hope that Arsenal players aren't going to be overwhelmed by the atmosphere, but I've got faith in my boys to get a job done. I wouldn't get too carried away from yesterday. Defensive show, reason being that both managers who are tactically better than Arteta. I would not say that Vincent Kompany is tactically better than Arteta. No chance. Arteta's been around the block actually longer than Vincent Kompany. Vincent Kompany walked into a great team. You know, they're signing players. Harry Kane will probably be a Ballon d'Or winner. I thought he was naive yesterday. And I thought even PSG, being 5-2 up at home in the Champions League, the tie's done. PSG should have then changed their style, took the sting out of their game. They got the players to do it. Vitinha, Neves, they could have gotten the ball and tried to keep the ball a bit more and lured Bayern Munich in. And of course, they got done by a set piece, which brought Bayern Munich back into the game. And you look at the set pieces and you think, that's something Arsenal will be trying to exploit. We didn't have Gabriel against them. Remember that, guys. Against PSG when we played them last season. One sec, guys. I'm just texting someone. Yeah, let's go through some of these comments. I expect us just to have enough to make the final. Yeah, I expect us to just about have enough to make the final as well. Fulham and West Ham, way harder games for us. Listen, they're going to be very, very tough. I'm not sure they'll be harder than Atletico Madrid, but they're very, very tough games for sure. We look exhausted. That's the biggest thing holding her back. Redemption 1, 2, 3. That is my main concern. That is my main concern. We do, at this moment in time, we look exhausted. And we now play 3 games in 6 days. you think we're going to probably travel back tomorrow, Thursday, and then you've got a game on Saturday against Fulham. We've been resting all week. But listen, you want to be champions, you want to play in all of these competitions, and it could be the death of us. If we could end up with nothing because we've gone so far in all the competitions. But listen, you want to be one of the best teams in the world, you've got to deal with that. So there's no excuses from me. 23, 24 quarters, 24, 25 semis, 25, 26 winners. Listen, winners or perhaps finalists, and next year will be the winners. Who knows? But listen, we've got a chance to win the Champions League. What an exciting day. I think Atletico will attack, but Arsenal will go haram. We'll still win 1-0. That would be great. That would be great to go there and win 1-0 today. That would be an unbelievable result if Arsenal... Listen, if Arsenal can win this game, guys, just if we win tonight and put one foot in the Champions League semi-final, and then we go and beat Fulham and go 6 points clear in the Premier League, and then Tuesday we finish the job off at the Emirates. Could you imagine that? Sitting here in 6 days' time, Tuesday night, we've beaten Fulham, and we've knocked Atletico out, and we're 6 clear with 3 to go in the Premier League. It would just be unbelievable. It would be unbelievable. But listen, it could go the other way. But I just think we've got to embrace this as fans. This is an unbelievable time to be an Arsenal fan. I've woke up excited. All I've been thinking about is the game. I really cannot wait to watch this match. We simply don't have momentum. Listen, that is right. We do not have momentum right now. However, we did just win our last game with a clean sheet. And right now, Atletico Madrid, as I've said earlier in the stream, have only won 4. They've lost 4 of the last 5. So they are not in good form at all. They don't have much momentum. Yes, they knocked out Barcelona. We knocked out Sporting Lisbon. You know, I know they've knocked out a bigger team, but Barcelona also had 10 men in both of those games. They need to attack us to take something back to the Emirates. Might work in our favour. There'll be spaces to exploit. Great point. Great point. Big up everyone here, by the way. We're very close to 2K, guys. We're very, very close to 2K. So please, if you're a newcomer watching this, please just smash the like button, subscribe. It's free, man, and help us get to 2K. We're at 20 off now. So please, if you guys could do that, let's get to 2K in our 1 week anniversary. 1 week, you know, in our 1 year anniversary. That would be brilliant, guys, if you could do that for us. Good thing about our team is that we don't concede 3 goals in any game of football. Big up, facts. So if we keep the margins close, then we have a chance. It's so true. It's so true. Everyone losing their mind, you know. I was meant to go on Dan Potts' show yesterday, and I was listening to it in the car, and there was a lot of traffic, and I didn't go on in the end. But it was just like, it was so doom and gloom. Him, Shane, DJB, my boy, Really Schooner. And it was like, if you were listening to it, you'd think their team must be in a relegation battle. They must be talking about Spurs. But no, they're talking about Arsenal, who are top of the Premier League, on top of the Premier League, and in a Champions League semi-final. What a time to be an Arsenal fan, man. And I agree, totally. We won't concede 3 goals. And if we do go 3 goals up, you know that game's over. You know, so PSG, as good as they are, and they're the European champions, and, you know, they'll probably win League One this year again, even though they're in a battle with, who is it now? With Lens. They're in a battle with Lens for the title, which could be a good thing for Arsenal if they face PSG in the final. The fact that they won't be able to just rest players, because Bayern Munich, they've won their league, so they'll be resting players. But then it could backfire because they're not playing competitive. Well, they are competitive games, but they're not playing for any jeopardy. So, listen, it all works loads of different ways, man. Let's read some more of these comments. I think the second half of the season, this season going to be poor, has led to people really underrating our tactical genius. Yeah, listen, Arteta's got something up his sleeve, 100%. And look, he's 2 games away from reaching a Champions League final, something Arsenal have only ever done, you know, once in our whole history. Arsene Wenger did it once in 22 years. Big up Arsene Wenger, greatest manager in Arsenal's history. But Arteta could get there in just 7 or 8 years, you know. It took Pep Guardiola 7 or 8 years to win a Champions League with Manchester City. You know, so listen, we're on the right track, guys. We're definitely on the right track. Vincent Kompany is leagues ahead of Arteta. I'm not sure where you get this from. And our manager, Lucho, is definitely leagues above your manager. This Mikel Arteta thing is getting weird now. Do you fancy him? I think he's a very handsome man, in answer to your question there. But no, I fancy women, mate. Vincent Kompany is leagues ahead of Arteta. Now, how do we work that out? A man who got relegated with Burnley walked into a Bayern Munich team full of superstars that win the league. They'd won the league only one time. They hadn't won it. You know, I think they didn't win it one time out of 12 years. All right, he's won the league with them. And, you know, he's now got to a semi-final. Arteta's been to a semi-final. He's been in title challenges against the best team in Premier League history and gone very close. He's top of the league right now, may go on to win it. I think he's tactically probably better than Vincent Kompany. I think Vincent Kompany gets caught out. I think they play too attacking sometimes. Everyone has their own opinion, but yeah, I mean, to say he's leagues ahead of Arteta, I'm not sure where you're getting that from. He's in a poorer league. All right, he's won the Bundesliga. Give him credit for that. I would not be saying he is leagues ahead of Arteta. Is Enrique? Yes, he is. Of course he is. He's the best manager in the world, bar Pep, at this moment in time in club football, because you'd have to put obviously Ancelotti in there. Dan, would you agree Arteta getting a new contract? Would you agree to Arteta getting a new contract if he won the Champions League but came second in the Prem? 100%. If this manager manages to win us our first ever Champions League, it's even better than winning the Premier League. If he were to do that, we've never won the Champions League, never in our history. If he somehow won us the most elite competition, then 100%. And listen, I wouldn't be saying go and give him a 5 or a 10-year deal, give him another 2 years. And, you know, even the thing with contracts, right? If you're not doing well, if we fell off and finished we're 10th in the league next year, I would say it's time for change. You know, I'm not just 100% Arteta. I just think he's doing a fantastic job. And I'm backing him right now to get us over the line in one of these two big competitions. And if he doesn't do it, and there is a top manager coming in, I'll put my hands up and say, let's get him in. If the top one, by the way. You know, it'd have to be an elite manager. I wouldn't want to swap Arteta for Cesc Fabregas. And, you know, they play two totally different philosophies. He's going to want his own players. You start again. I'm not up for that. I think this team is built to win now. Whether it's with Arteta or not remains to be seen. But by the way, Lucho, to whoever said that earlier, Real Madrid fan, Atletico Madrid fan, of course, Simeone's better than Arteta. You know, he's won league titles. He's got to 2 Champions League finals. He's won Europa Leagues. You know, he's a born winner. You know, Arteta is just at the start of his. I think there's similarities in the two of them as well. You know, he's come and won the league against all the odds. He's only won 2 in about 12 years, but still, you're up against Barcelona and Real Madrid. You've got to give him huge credit for that. We have most players back remaining: Timber, Havertz, and Marino. Yeah, listen, we need Timber. We need Timber. If we're going to stand a chance against a PSG or a Bayern in the final, we're going to need Timber. And, you know, I'm not sure if Lookman is playing today, but he's a dangerous, dangerous player. Very dangerous player. We're going to need all of our players back, and we're going to need them to start performing like we know they can perform. It's like you were saying, we're exhausted, and Mikel thinks low block, low possession is what is safe and less exhausting. But I disagree. But listen, the low block thing, I don't think Arsenal play a low block at all in the Premier League. I've never seen us. This whole thing that we're defensive, we recycle the ball a lot, yes. You know, we may not be very adventurous, and we don't throw loads of players forwards, but we definitely don't sit in. Teams sit in against us. So against a PSG or Bayern, maybe we would do that. We didn't do it at the Emirates when we played them. We took the game to them. We sat in and we took the game to them, and we beat them 3-1. The bottle job manager would never be hired by Bayern, and we at PSG definitely rate Emery more than we rated Lego Head. Well, okay, so I'm not sure if you're who you support. I thought you was an Atletico Madrid fan, but listen, they signed Kompany when he had just been relegated by Burnley. So whether Bayern Munich would sign Arteta or not, I don't really care if they would or not. I really don't. Big up AFC Guna. Let's get some predictions, guys. I want some predictions for today's game. Come on, Arsenal. Let's go, Arsenal. Come on. We're in a wonderful position here. Guys, make sure you smash the likes for me, and make sure if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and get us up to that 2K. We need to control the game, not space in our own half. Rather boring possession football with 5, 6 spike moments with chances. I want that, and I've seen us play it. Facts. Facts. I agree. I totally agree. We have seen it. Who remembers the 17 last 19 games out of 23-24 season? That's what I want to see. Killing teams off. If we win today and beat Fulham, if we win today, then beat Fulham. If we lose today, we drop points with Fulham. I think, yeah, one will affect the other. I agree. I think if we lose by more than a 1 goal, I would not be confident going into that Fulham game. You conceded 3 versus Man United, conceded 2 versus Bournemouth, and it should have been more. Now, those 2 attacks are nowhere near Bayern or PSG. If you think you can't hold 3 just because you play around ball, listen, it's possible. Anything is possible. I just don't think that Arsenal would be conceding 3 or 4 goals against a Bayern Munich or a PSG. Of course, it's possible. Never said it wasn't possible, but I don't think it. You can pick out 1 game in the whole season where Man United had shots from 20 yards out. But go back before that and see the last time we conceded 3 goals, because you have to go back 4 years before that if you want to go and do your research. So go and do that. And you can say Arsenal play a haram ball. I don't think it is at all. I don't think it is at all. I think haram ball is very much ultra defensive, which Arsenal are not. Is Negative Dan your best friend? He is one of my best friends, for sure. He definitely is one of my best friends. And he's a good guy, man. I did want him to come on today, but he's a bit busy doing something at the moment. 29 of you in here. Make sure you smash the likes for us. Make sure you're subscribing. Company is overrated. Look, here's the thing. He's done well. He's done well. Give him credit. I wouldn't say he's overrated or underrated. I just think he's doing well. But yeah, I agree with this, though. Arteta would have kept Burnley up. So how big up? I do think he would have kept Burnley up. I really do. I'm going to come to Arteta's interview in a minute, guys, and see what the great man's got to say. I hate the whole 4-2-3-1 system we play right now. I like our players. Okay, yeah, the hybrid. We play in 2 direct and we're poor at winning second balls. Yeah, that's how it seems right now, isn't it? It does seem like that. Is Dan coming on with me? I wish he was. I wish he was coming on. Unfortunately, he's not coming on because he's a bit busy. But look, he said he might. He might come on. So hopefully he comes on. I'd like to get into it with Dan now. I really would. But hoping to go live after the game, guys. Hopefully it'll be a good stream. Even if not, I'm sure people will be coming to get at me if we don't get the result that we need. But I don't think this tie gets ended tonight by either team. I think if a team wins it, they win it by 1 goal. And there'll still be, obviously, so much jeopardy in the second leg. So tonight is just, it's the first half, essentially. Unai Emery is better than Arteta. You admit that, though. Unai Emery, yes, because of the trophies he's won. Would I take him at Arsenal over Arteta? No. But you have to look at the longevity of the man and the trophies he's won. You'd have to say that he's obviously more established than Mikel Arteta. He's won 3 or 4 Europa Leagues. You know, he's done the business. He's won a league with PSG. So, yeah, I mean, for me, I would rather Arteta, but I get what you're saying. You'd have to say Emery is the better manager because he's accomplished way more. He's been around a lot longer. I think Arteta will have a more successful career in the future, though. To elaborate on the conceding 3 goals, what I meant is the deficit to the scoreline at any given point, they won't be 3 goals up. I agree, they won't be 3 goals up. I don't think so either. That is true because look, that they could score 3, but we could easily score 2. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. Arteta, tactical genius. He had the easiest draw in the whole UCL. Oh, this is what we're going to be hearing now. He's lucky even to be here. Just call this the Arteta Scheduled Hub episode 1. Arteta is not winning the UCL, mate. No ways. Listen, no one knows the future. No one knows. Are we the favourites right now? No, we're not. We're probably the 3rd favourites, but we've got a massive chance. In football, you don't know what can happen. With Arteta, with his tactics, I believe we definitely have a chance of winning the Champions League. And people can talk about the draw all you want. Last season, we made the semi-finals and we played Real Madrid in the quarters. We knocked them out. You know, we played Bayer Leverkusen this season, who are a decent side. Sporting Lisbon have beaten PSG already. Their home record was phenomenal. The Champions League, there's no easy games. As simple as that. And whoever gets to the final or the semi-final, they deserve to be there. Simple as that. So you can save that for when we win it. You can say what you want about who we played on the way to get there. I don't care. As long as we go and win that Champions League. I hate us going long than anything. We literally don't have the team for that. It's our midfield with Rice, Marino, and Zubimendi. I can't understand that. Win second balls is more easier. Yeah, you know what? I have to say, when I was watching that game yesterday, I was like, we don't have a midfielder. We don't have a technician that could just get on the ball. And like Vitinha will just get it and spray it over. Neves will get it and just spray it. You know, we just don't have that. We don't have that. And I think that is what we're lacking. But these players are very hard to come by. But Vitinha was sitting on the bench at Wolves. What a buy that was from PSG, man. It was a great game of football. And let PSG buy in. The two unbelievable sides. They're probably the two best teams in Europe. You know, we've fallen off form-wise. But could we beat them in a one-off game? You fucking bet your life that we could, mate. We most certainly could beat them in a game, but we could also lose the game. You know, this is football. This is why we love football. I'm not a fan of Arteta. However, I understand where our strengths lie. People thinking we'll concede a lot of goals against PSG and Bayern without us not scoring, I think is a bit naive. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. Give me 1 second, guys. I think someone is at my door. Just give me one moment. Yes, can you? See that, mate. Just pass. Yes, people. Oh, what was that 9 second video? Oh, I need to delete that video actually, guys. Thanks for reminding me. Where was we? Yeah, I was reading out this one. I'm not yeah, you're not a fan of Arteta, which is, you know what? See, like this Bance. I like Bance because Bance comes in and he says how he feels. He don't go too over the top. Straight up, he's not a fan of Arteta, but he understands where our strengths lie. People thinking that we will concede a lot of goals against PSG and Bayern without us not scoring is naive. 100% facts. 100% facts. Listen, Seedorf has won the Champions League with three different clubs. Three different clubs. And what did he come out and say? He come out and said, if there's one team that could beat them teams, that could beat them in the final, it will be Arsenal. That's what he said, due to our defence. We're getting smashed tonight. Can't see it, mate. But you look like you're a Man United fan. You will be watching Coronation Street tonight. So enjoy it. Arteta is trying every gimmick under the sun to alleviate the pressure. Another rookies runs the same risk. Winning managers only have proven methods that work. Proven winners only. Look, this is one of them things. If he wins it, he looks like a genius, and if he don't, he looks like an idiot. That's just how it goes. So Arsenal need to win our first trophy, and I think everything changes around Arteta, the players, the belief. It all changes. Let's hope it's this season. We also need to fix our first fave, that major problem and major contributions to not get. Look, it's too slow. 100%. It's too slow. When I'm at the Emirates, it's lethargic, it's slow, it's predictable, and it is a tad boring. But we are winning games of football overall throughout this whole season. We've won so many games of football. We need to go back to how we were at the start of the season, but we seem to have so much more energy then. And I think that it's just a bit. It feels like we're just running out of steam at the wrong time. But hopefully, you know, there's a win in there. It could be tonight. It could be on Saturday. We need a win to spike us back into some sort of form. And you never know when that game's going to be. It could be tonight. Let's hope and pray it is. Only a guy like you would want to keep a serial bottler Arteta instead of try, says Fabregas. What do you mean he's in the beginning of his career? He's been here for 7 years. Lucio is not Simeone. Okay, Lucio is Enrique. I don't know. I thought Lucio, you were referring to Simeone. But yeah, Luis Enrique, apart from Pep, is probably the best manager in the world. So I'm not going to agree with you with that. But calling Arteta a serial bottler, I disagree. I totally disagree. He's come in and transformed my club and got us right back up here. You know, the reason we're here now talking about Champions League semi-final yet again is due to Mikel Arteta. Because, you know, even under Arsene Wenger in 22 years, we only made 2 semi-finals in our history. So, yeah. We do play a low block a lot, especially in the second half of the season. Are you blind or just avoiding the truth? I don't see us playing a low block. I really do not see us playing a low block. You'd have to show me these stats where we played a low block. You think that when we play like at home to a Brentford or someone, we're playing a low block? No, they're playing a low block. We don't play a low block. Arsenal may go into a low block at some point of the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes if we're defending a lead or if we're through phases at the game, but we don't go into a game and park the bus. That's just not true. People get really agitated as well, man. You know, talking about are you blind? Like, come on, man, have some respect, man, have some decorum. If Marino wasn't injured, we wouldn't have been worried about Zubimendi and Rice's minutes played. That is a great point. Great point. However, I do have to say, Norgard should have been given more times. He should have been given more. He should have been given more, way more minutes for me. Yeah, I agree. PSG are more dangerous than Bayern. I agree. And plus, they've got one of the best managers in the world. Whereas Bayern have company, and him and Arteta would be like two rookies in it, especially in the Champions League going head to head. But the Harry Kane factor. But I do feel like Saliba and Gabriel could do a job on Kane. I think the faster players would be more of a problem for them and our defence. It's called delusional Dan for a reason. It's like he thinks you lot, you all don't watch this Guantanamo Bay football from Arteta. All right, mate. I know and understand exactly why he plays a low block. Let me know, guys, why he does then. Big up Thunder Road. Chat if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. Yeah, appreciate that, guys. Unsubscribed. Don't care, mate. Honestly, really don't care. We're nearly on 2,000 subs now, so really couldn't give a fuck. Enjoy your day, mate. Enjoy watching Coronation Street. Bayern Munich is a tough job since winning the Bundesliga is the bare minimum. I'm not so sure though, man. I mean, yeah, they have to win it, but when you've won 11 out of 12, I mean, really, is it that tough? But no, I think he's a good manager, Vincent Company. But to say he's leagues ahead of Arteta, I just don't see that. So you believe Arsenal isn't playing haram ball? So you're gonna bop Atletico tonight, right? 20 shots, 60 possession, high volume passing, right? I don't think many teams will do that to Atletico Madrid. So no, I just don't think Arsenal are an ultra defensive side that teams make out. And nor Atletico, by the way. Atletico have changed their style completely. So listen, I know Arsenal are not nowhere near as attacking as we were, but we do not sit there and play 10 behind the ball. I'm sorry, but we don't. Teams do that to us. We find it hard to break them down and we recycle the ball a lot. Yes, that's what happens. I watch my team week in, week out. I know. I'm lying about we don't play a low block thing. We clearly do in the second half of the season, and I have the stats to back it up. Show me the stats. Why did they sign Norgard? What's MLS doing? Why loan Ethan? There's many options. The whole Ethan thing, though, he can't get a game at Marseille right now. So as much as I think it'd be decent to have him on the bench, not sure he would be doing much for us right now. I'm a PSG fan, and that's why I said we hired Unai Emery and would never hire Super Mikel Arteta to injure our players and ruin their careers. All good, man. You're a PSG fan. Do you live in France or are you a PSG fan that lives in England? That'd be interesting to know. Or did you just start supporting PSG last season? Is that when you started supporting them when they won their first Champions League? Sounds about right. Even his work with Aston Villa from relegation team to top 5 in the country, not only trophies, mate. Yeah, listen, he's done well at Aston Villa, but he's also fallen off a cliff with Aston Villa as well, hasn't he? They were in the title race, and they've fallen off. Let's see if he can win the Europa League with them. He also bottled the Conference League when they were in the semis and went out to Olympiacos, lost the final with us. So look, Unai Emery, he's a good manager. I would prefer Arteta for my club. That's it. The interview on AFTV, why did you keep interrupting Dan when I did not interrupt you? When you didn't interrupt me or when he didn't. Listen, it just gets like that sometimes, man. That's how it gets, man. It's just how it gets sometimes, unfortunately. I'm logical. I wanted Enrique. He was available in 2023 or Hansi Flick in 24. What's the difference when you want to upgrade the players and upgrade managers? No, listen, 100%. I said last season, if Enrique's available, go and get him. I'm not so sure about Flick because I'm not sure if our style would suit that. And in the Premier League, playing that high line, not so sure about it. Would I be against it? No. I was watching another game, but I heard people, City fans included, clowning Arsenal for playing a round ball at home against the garbage Newcastle side. Even the stats reflected that. I don't think so. I don't think the stats reflected that. I thought that was just a really, really close game. The manager doesn't trust him. I don't know why. Doesn't trust who? Who are we talking about here? Who got cooked more in the Lee and Jez beef conundrum? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't really take too much notice to all of that business. I just saw a few little clips. That's it. Jez, I like Jez. He comes on my channel. I've never really, I've had a few little things here and there with Lee, but yeah, I leave them to it, man. I don't really get involved. Funny though, I suppose. We need to play Rice 6, MLS 8, Eze 10. One touch football, middle of the park, release the wingers. It sounds great. It really does sound great. And listen, there's nothing more that I would love to see than free flowing football. There really is. But he's gone a different way this year in order to get us over the line. So far, it looks like it might happen, it might not happen. If it does, none of it matters as long as we win one of the Premier League or the Champions League. And then if we do win one of them, I feel like next season you will see us a lot more relaxed, a lot more composed. And I think there'll be a weight lifted off everyone's shoulder. And I think we would start to play that football, maybe would come back of 22, 23, 23, 24 when we were absolutely smoking teams. Big up Redemption, man. I think we have a better chance of beating Bayern than PSG, mainly because PSG have a better defense. 100% agreed. 100% agreed. Bayern's defense is not that good. PSG have a better defense, and they're the European champions, and they've got Enrique. So I would rather play Bayern Munich in that final, definitely. Plus, we've already beat them. Arsenal merch delivery. Not sure what you're referring to there, but big up. Big up everyone, man. 38 of you watching. Appreciate you. Even you guys that are giving me grief or whatever. It's all love, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please help us get to the 2K and subscribe. Smash the like button if you can. Can't play too defensive at this stage of the season. You have to have an outlet, even in the away games. For me, Eze 10 could do that. We've seen it this season. Facts. Facts. I agree with you. I agree. Probably. We are the best team in Europe, and you aren't beating either of us in the UCL final. Bro, we know Bayern would match us, but we didn't expect that yesterday. 5-2 up. We thought we'd won. Yeah, and you were naive. PSG were very naive. They were very naive. And trust me, Arsenal can beat PSG because we didn't have Gabriel, our main centre back, when we played you guys. Yeah, we have Marino up top. We didn't have a striker. Arsenal can beat PSG. And I would love to face you guys in the final. Trust me, I would love it. But I want to know when you started supporting PSG. We do have some technicians, Odegaard, Zubimendi. Zubimendi, I'm not so sure. Definitely not Bettina or Pedri level, but definitely technically secure. Yeah, I agree. Our technical players won't be spraying any other passes rather short. Yeah, it's true. I agree with you on that. Our technicians are conservative and dictate the tempo than the killer or riskier passes. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. 2-6, guys. Mm. Guys, let's get some predictions, man. Let's get some predictions. What are we predicting? I'm thinking, do you know what? I've gone for 2-2 today. I don't know why I've gone for 2-2. I just think that it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be the dull game that everyone thinks. I think they're going to have to go for it. Spaces could open up for us. Um, I think, if one of them takes the lead, the other one's going to go for it a little bit more. I think it's going to be a really interesting game, guys. Bro, I've never seen us struggle like we did versus Bayern yesterday. If you think Enrique is going to let Arsenal beat us in the final, maybe Company can bottle it versus Arteta, but PSG. Oh, geez, listen, it would be a massive ask, but we would definitely have a chance. Arteta has beaten Enrique before. Last season, we beat you 2-0 in the group phase, so it's not totally out of the question. And I get it. If Arsenal was playing football at PSG and we were European champions, I would be just like you, my guy. I would be just like you. And listen, man, I get it, bro. You're European champions. Fair play to you, man. You've got some unbelievable players. You've got a great manager. Fair play, man. Fair play. But I'm telling you now, Arsenal would 100% have a chance against you guys in the final. In a final, anything can happen. We've got to make the final first, though, and so do you guys, because you guys may not make the final. You've got to go away to Bayern Munich. Who knows what could happen? And you would have bottled it. You will have bottled it because you were 5-2 up at home. So if PSG don't make this final, it will be a full-on bottlage. We always run out of steam at the end of the season under Arteta because he doesn't rotate properly. I agree with that. Zubi and Rice have been played too much. I agree. And listen, it's a repeating occurrence. So I do agree with that, and it's something that he's got to sort out for sure. I didn't say anything about slow. You don't understand football. When I say first phase, I mean our build up. We simply can't play through the opponent's first line of pressure. Listen. Well, people getting a bit touchy here today, man. What's going on, man? We're in a Champions League semi-final. Yeah, I do understand football. I watch football. I see football. People see football differently, right? So you don't have to sit there talking about I don't understand football. I may see the game different to you. I watch it from the Emirates, right, with a perfect view. I'm not sure where you're watching the football from, but trust me, I understand football, and our play is slow. I'm not sure our play is too slow. It is slow. It is lackadaisical at times. It is slow build-up play. Do you agree Arteta doesn't rotate? I don't think he rotates. I don't think he rotates key players enough. Against the Southampton or someone who'll make 10 changes. But throughout the season, he needs to be pulling like a player out, Zubimendi out, giving him a breather. Especially Zubimendi. I feel like he should have been rested more. Yes, I do agree. Norgard, MLS, Ethan were available. No excuse for Mourinho injury. Yeah, look, I hear you, man. But Mourinho's, I think, would have been a big player for us, man. He was last year. He scored against Real Madrid. He was brilliant. Do I agree that Arteta is too predictable? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes it's not Arteta, it's the players as well, though. The team as a whole. Would a draw be a good result tonight? I do think it would be. I do think a draw would be a brilliant result tonight, actually, because I'll be very confident we beat them at the Emirates. But right now, the Emirates is becoming so nervy. Oh, it's becoming so nervy at the Emirates, man. So it's hard to say, but you'd have to take the draw now, wouldn't you? Let's share this with you guys. Just a second.
Please, Kai Havertz and Eberechi Eze came off at the weekend, so are either of them available for tomorrow?
Kai is out and Ebbs is ready to go.
Thank you. And Ricardo Calafiori wasn't in the squad the weekend, but was training, and Jurien Timber has been out for a little while. So are either of those in the squad or available?
Yeah, those two are available for tomorrow.
So do we hear that, guys? Timber should be available tomorrow. What do we think? You're in Timber. That is massive. Calafiori as well. If we're trying to defend that lead, who would you start, guys? In Capier, or would you start in Capier, or would you start Calafiori? Let's see what else Mikel Arteta had to say.
So tomorrow's a big match after the pressure of the weekend, after a big result in the Premier League, after things have been difficult for you. So how much confidence have you taken from that after a run of games when things maybe haven't gone to plan?
Well, after that win, a massive win for us against Newcastle, you could sense straight away the energy, the confidence coming into this game. It's a massive privilege to be here again 2 years in a row in the semi-final of the Champions League, representing our club. And yeah, what an opportunity. We're going to grab it with both hands. You're going to see a team that wants to be dominant, that wants to win it, and that wants to start to decide the tie tomorrow.
As you mentioned there, a big achievement being in the semi-final.
A team that wants to be dominant and wants to win it. I'm hoping we see that today on the pitch, guys. I'm hoping we see that today on the pitch.
The Champions League back-to-back years, but what are you expecting from Atletico tomorrow?
A really tough match, a team that has managed so much experience in the competition that they have every right to be here, because what they've done, again, is remarkable. We know the difficulty of the match, but I think we have shown in Europe, in any ground, what we are capable of. We've been very consistent, and tomorrow we have to play with that confidence, with that desire and that will to come here to win the game.
John from the Mirror.
Hello, Mikel. Can I just double check? You did say Jurian's available tomorrow.
You spotted that well.
Yes, I did. What a hell of a boost that is, because he's such an important player.
Jurian not in the squad.
Oh, Jurian's not in the
sorry.
Yeah. But Ricky and Bukayo, they are in the squad.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We misunderstood. We were talking to Martin before, and he was talking about the opportunity to make history.
Yeah.
And, just what an amazing period this is, really. What an opportunity. Is that what it's all about? I mean, these incredible 7 games ahead of you and the opportunity that you have now.
But that's the way we are all feeling, and that's the energy that I feel amongst the team and the club. This is the stages that we want to be, and we have earned it through incredible work, passion, and quality in the last 9 months. And now is the moment to make a statement and show how good we are, how much we want it, and make it happen. It's clear. The opportunity is in front of us, and we have to attack it.
John from BBC Radio.
Mikel, can you talk a little bit about what you need to do when you play here against this Atletico Madrid team, Diego Simeone? Are there things that you have to think about and take into consideration that you wouldn't necessarily anywhere else? And is this a place where you need cool heads as much as anywhere?
Yes, I think every opponent and every context, whether it is the stadium, the opponent, the manner that they play, have differences, and there are things that obviously have to be highlighted, whether there is strength or the weaknesses as well. And especially against them, there are moments in game, and we have to manage that so well to be successful and win the game.
Dharmesh from Sky Sports.
Hey, Mikel.
Hi.
You beat Atletico in the group phase quite convincingly. Do you gain any psychological advantage from that? And do you reflect on what happened against PSG last season when you beat them in the group stage but were knocked out in the semis? And has that been part of your messaging to the players?
No, because it's not a very positive one. There are a lot of positive messages that I can send to the team. Obviously, we learn things from that game, but tomorrow's game is going to be a completely different one, especially playing here. We know what they've done and what they are capable of, and as well because we have now some experience as well in these kind of games, and we know exactly what we have to do.
I don't know if you saw Diego Simeone's news conference or aware of what he said. He's created a few headlines because he said that Arsenal, PSG and Barcelona are interested in Julian Alvarez. So there's a 2-part question for you. Are you? And how big a threat is Julian Alvarez?
You know that I don't talk. I should never talk about any player that is not a player.
Sam from Daily Telegraph.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
There's a weather warning tomorrow, potential storms and very heavy rain. And there's been
unlucky, yeah.
Yeah, very much so. There's been a lot of talk about the pitch here as well in recent weeks. I just wonder what you make of that and how big a problem that might be for the way you play.
We adapt to any context, and for the last 9 months, imagine the amount of games that we have played in different scenarios, different contexts, different opponents. So we'll adapt to the conditions tomorrow in the best possible way to be ourselves and win the game.
Simon, the Sun.
Mikel, this is obviously the second season in a row you've reached the semi-finals. Do you feel like you belong at this stage, and do you feel this group is now ready to take the next step and reach the final?
I don't take it for granted because a very short time ago, this club had 7 years without Champions League. So in that very short period of time, what we have achieved is remarkable, and we know the difficulty of it. We know how much we work for this, and yeah, enjoy it, take the opportunity, embrace it, because it's very tough to be here.
Tom from Reach.
Hi, Mikel. Slight tangent, but it was
Yeah, so just as Mikel was saying, 7 years without being in the Champions League, and now here we are in back-to-back semi-finals with a big chance to reach only our second ever Champions League final. The journalist, he did have a nightmare with that question, didn't he? Funny that was, man. What a waste of a question, 100%. Some of these journalists as well, people call Arteta arrogant and things like that, but honestly, some of the things that they say are just absolutely just beyond me, how they even come up with some of these questions. I think the PSG fan is a glory hunter for us, or an Arsenal fan that hates Arteta. He doesn't sound like an actual fan of PSG. I don't rate Arteta that much either, but you're overdoing it. Listen, you get people saying all sorts in here. Listen, it's crazy stuff, Redemption, man. Listen, who randomly comes on here that's a PSG fan? Listen, like I said, probably just started supporting them, probably bought the tracksuit or something, you know what I mean? I thought, yeah, I support PSG, and I saw them win the European Cup. He probably used to support Real Madrid, Barcelona. He's probably supported about 6 teams. Might have even supported Arsenal in 2004 when we had Thierry Henry, you know what I mean? Crazy stuff, man. How many pints did you drink at the Emirates with negative? Oh, we had quite a few pints, man. We must have had at least 5 pints, maybe, at least. And we'll be at the Emirates again. We're going to do a little vlog, probably. I'm actually doing something with Sky Sports this Saturday, so look out for that. And yeah, man, big up everyone, man. Help us get to the 2K, guys, man. I think we're like 20 away from 2K, so please, if you can, just smash that subscribe button. It's free, and I really appreciate it, man. Injuries are no excuse. The guy spent $1 billion. See, the whole thing with the guy spent $1 billion. He spent $1 billion in 7 years. So it's like 125 million a year. Is that much? Because Chelsea have spent 2 billion in a more of a short period of time. City have spent, Liverpool, people say, oh, they won things. Chelsea won a Conference Cup in the last, 5 years, 6 years. So, every team spends money, man. Every team spends money nowadays. So 125 million a year, I mean, it's not that much. Sunderland spent 150 million this summer. Cheer up, Kizzy. Big game today. This is the thing, man. Like, honestly, guys, come on, guys. You need to fucking cheer up a little bit, man. You need to get behind the team a bit more. We are in a Champions League semi-final. As Arteta said, it's unprecedented. These are unprecedented times. These are unprecedented times, man. And I think we're going to do something special this season. I've maintained it all the way through. I think we're going to do something special. You go on West Ham, Dan, or doing an AFTV watch along. I'm going to be hopefully hoping to someone to get back to me, hoping that I'm going to that game. Yeah, don't live too far from there. So really hoping to go to that game. As much as I despise your opinion about the club, this channel is entertaining, so big up, man. Also, you weren't holding negative at gunpoint the other day when you was being positive. Listen, big up, man. Listen, look, I love all of you guys that come in, man. Look, it's never anything personal, man. That's why I don't like it when people get personal with me. We all have our own opinions, or people say you don't know ball, or you're this, or you're that. And the deluded thing, I don't mind. There's a great content creator called Deluded Gooner. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind. I am a bit deluded sometimes, but that's part of being a football fan. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of belief. In life, sometimes you have to have a bit of belief, guys. You need to believe sometimes, guys, man. You got to believe in what you're doing. You have to have a belief in life, And listen, today, we're all going to be watching that game. We're all going to be thinking, you know what? We might have a chance. Or what's the point in watching football? What's the point in watching football if you've got zero belief? If you don't believe at all that we can do anything, then why are you even watching it? That is my thing, So, yeah, man, look, listen, we're in a fantastic position. And a lot of people, they just get they're like too scared, just fucking support the team, man. Let's go for this, man. In a couple of hours, we're going to be playing in the Champions League semi-final, the biggest stage. We're going to hear that Champions League music. Do you remember where we were with Emery, who someone kept bringing up in the chat? We were in the Europa League getting dumped out, losing to Frankfurt. You know, come on, man. But big up Kizzy, man. Appreciate the love, man, each and every time. And I didn't have him at gunpoint. The pints are what do it, man. The pints make you have a little, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have a few now after this. I'm going to finish up in the next 5 minutes. But thank you to everyone that's been in the comments with me here, man, because without you guys, there's no point of even going live, man. Dan, if Arteta wins both trophies, Alan, would you give him 10-year contract if he wins the both of them? Big up Aussie Ange. Cool, get that, but it did happen, and injuries are a big part of the context, but I get your point on poor planning. Yeah, big up, guys, man. My biggest problem with Mikel's solutions to these problems are radical and pragmatic, overly so. Underrated questions. Since you go to most of the games home and away, which team fan base has the hottest girls out there when you daze from your pints? I've not done many away games, but the boys tell me that Southampton. That's what the boys tell me, you know. That's what I've heard. Now, I didn't do Southampton, but the boys done it when they were last in the Premier League, and they've done it this time. And yeah, I've heard good things, man. But me, myself, I'm taken. You know, I'm a married man, but the lads tell me that, yeah, Southampton was good stuff. Anyways, I'm going to leave before I get called a glory hunter for clowning Arsenal for backing dead horse process. Big up, man. Listen, thanks for coming in. Thanks for all your comments anyway, man. We'll see you in the final, and we'll beat you in the final with a set piece from Gabriel. Remember I said it, yeah? And come back onto the stream after Arsenal win the Champions League. Bye, bro. Good luck to Atletico, man. On the money spent, it's ridiculous. Arteta hasn't won a single trophy yet. Yes, yet. And also $1 billion in 7 years. I don't think it's as wild as people are thinking. Spending 120 million a year, average eyes, I don't think it's that much. Most of our problems can't be simply solved with simple rotations and a bit of they can be. Yeah, I agree. There's got to be more rotation. Am I watching the game at home? No, I'm going to pop out and meet the boys now and go and have a few beers and watch it in an Arsenal pub. Am I getting myself a wife from Southampton? Yeah, bro, I've heard good things, man. I've heard very good things. Great day, Dan. Come on, you Gooners. Yeah, man, listen. I back the team. Most of the problems need to be solved in the summer. Yeah, there's a lot of things that need to be solved. God bless all you guys and your families. Big up, man. That's nice of you to say that, man. Say yes to Jesus. Oh, 100% say yes to Jesus. 100%. I like these positive messages there. Amen. Hopefully, Jesus, the forgotten man, who knows? Who knows? He could come on and do something in the Champions League. He's got a decent record in the Champions League. So maybe we could see him tonight. The lineups will be out shortly. I'm sure you will want to go and do what you've got to do now before the big game starts. But yeah, big ups, everyone. Please, guys, if you could, on the way out, it costs nothing. If you're a new viewer, just hit subscribe. Help us get to 2,000 subscribers. That was the target at the start of the season when we started this, to get to 2K. And look, we're nearly there, man. We're about 20 off. So there was one guy who unsubscribed during the stream. But yeah, if you guys could subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Smash the likes on your way out as well. Give me some predictions. You know what? I went with 2-2, but now I'm saying 2-1 Arsenal. Come on, Arsenal. Let's go. Let's go and reach, get 1 foot into the Champions League final. Let's go and then beat Fulham, and let's finish the job on Tuesday. And could you imagine that, guys? 6 days' time on Tuesday, Arsenal are 6 points clear in the Premier League. Man City have to go to Everton on the Monday night, and we're in a Champions League final. Could you imagine it? Let's hope. Let's believe. Let's believe, guys. Let's believe in our team. Believe in our manager. Let's all unite together and hope Arsenal can do something special. How have you kept a positive mindset? You do not. Oh, how have you kept the positive mindset? You do, not just football related. Listen, that's facts. I'm a positive person. I'm a positive person all round, man. Stay positive, glass half full. You know, look at things on the brighter side of things. Obviously, I'm not deluded. I know when things are going wrong, but you've got to look at positives in life, man. If you're just too negative and don't let things get you down too much, you let things just get you down, honestly, man, it's not a good way to live, man. And listen, football gets me down. It really does get me down. But it also gives me great highs, man. It really does when you score a last-minute winner. And this is why we all love football, man. But yeah, in general, I am a positive person. I think we should all try and be positive. But look, guys, I'm going to call it a day now. I've been here for an hour. I wanted to do a quick hour, interact with my people. Thank you for all watching. And let's hope Arsenal go and win today. I'm going for 2-1 Arsenal. Martinelli to score. Clip it up. Let's come back to it. Hopefully see you guys tonight. We will be live later on tonight. Big up, everyone. Big up. Turn your notifications on. Do that one favor for me. Turn your notifications on. Is Dan with me after the game? Yes, he is. He will be with me after the game. So please do tune in. Big up. Take care, guys. See you all soon. Thank you for watching.